Thoughts on your screen right now. This is iconic Marine Drive in Mumbai. The monsoon, of course, hit Maharashtra weeks ago, but look at the crowds there. Overwhelming crowds, all of them bearing the drizzling right now, holding umbrellas to welcome the champs back home. Look at the sea of faces. So many heads there laughing and also cheering for the champs, as it were. A lap of the champions who came back home from Barbados, considering there was a serious typhoon there, so they decided that they will fly back later. A chartered plane was sent for them and they flew back this morning, met with Prime Minister Narendra Modi for a breakfast meeting, and right now they are in Mumbai, the victory lap, the Marine Drive, and then going over to the iconic Wankhede Stadium. That's how the champs are going to celebrate their fabulous, magnificent victory. On your screens now, some of the popular faces. We saw even Rahul Dravid, the coach, about which we will have a conversation. Right now, the trophy on your screens and the victory lap. There you see the coach of the team, Rahul Dravid, along with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, photo op with the entire team. All right, look at that. And Krishna, of course, who follows cricket very closely, is with me in the studio, my colleague Krishna Kumar. And also as guest, we have Amay Khurasia, who's a former Indian cricketer. Let me first ask Krishna. Krishna, so well deserved, 17 years lag. It's almost like the 14-year forest exile in the Ramayana. What do you think really worked in their favor? Is it the strategic wall that is Rahul Dravid who did the trick?
Well, I'm sure his contribution is immense to this team, but cricket is a sport that gets played by the 11 players on the field. I'm sure even Mr. Rahul Dravid will agree with that. So you've got to give it to the boys in blue who went out there and gave their hearts out, played out of their skins, match after match. Bear in mind, we haven't lost a single game through this entire World Cup, starting from the first to the last. We've won every single game and fairly convincingly. So this is a rock solid team, rock solid performance. I mean, yes, the numbers, you're talking about the Vanvas. Technically, it's been 13 years since we won the last World Cup. That was the one-day World Cup. And of course, 17 years since we won the T20 World Cup. That was the inaugural T20 World Cup. So it's a huge drought that is over. It's a major source of relief. That's the reason why, the finals, if you see, all these men, strong men, were seen crying on the field, shedding tears once the match was over. So you could see the outpouring of emotions of just about everybody concerned. So in that sense, you can't feel any happier, for this team. And of course, the emotions that run with it. Rohit Sharma won't be playing T20s anymore. Virat Kohli won't be playing T20s for India anymore. And of course, Ravindra Jadeja won't be playing T20s for India anymore. It's an end of an era as well, apart from the end of the drought of ICC trophies for India.
Very well said, Amay Khurasia. Let me welcome you into the broadcast and thank you so much for making the time. Amay, today is the day when, there is a lot of discussion about individual brilliances, which we all witnessed that night, where we were it was nail biting for most of us, and leaving the room and coming back. I was one of them, so I'm guilty. But today it's also talking about the hidden talents and the heroes who are real heroes and who will who are not really spoken about. Throw some light on those who actually also made a great difference, because today is a day to celebrate the entire team. Amay.
Well, can you come back with the last line of your question, please? I'm so sorry. I was just. Can you come back with the last line of your question?
That's not a problem at all. I'm saying that we know the stars of the team, as it were, Jasprit Bumrah, we know about Surya, but the point is that what about those, maybe your keen eye, considering you're a former Indian cricketer, and you saw those little details about players who really also made it possible for us to bring the cup back?
So are we pointing towards the support staff, Rahul Dravid, and the other people apart from the Titans, which are like Rohit and Virat? Are we also focusing on Akshay and Akshat and Dubey? Am I right?
No,
Yeah.
there's also Arshdeep Singh, whose contribution was valuable.
Well, let me tell you, I think it's always a team effort. But the point is, when you have a team of titans and individual brilliance, where there are people who are exemplary in their performance from more than a decade, like Rohit and Virat, then of course you have to sometimes the entire credit, and you live under the shadow of their umbrella. And the point is, but it's always a good teamwork, because a good teamwork is always a dream work, and that's what we saw in this. And for that, I will give the entire credit to the support staff, Rahul Dravid, and the other coaches of the support staff, because at times they have to define an individual, how the role has to be in a team, and when that role is being defined and how you perform according to your role, then you come up. So you can see the finals of the World Cup, all three fast bowlers came up like champions, including Arshdeep and Hardik and Bumrah. Leave apart Bumrah, he's exceptional, but spinners could not do the job up to the mark. But then the mantle was taken by the fast bowlers, and of course then we did some good work in batting, I think. But by and large, if you see the batting of India, our batting marginally failed in the finals of the World Cup, but then it was compensated by fast bowling. So it's like all about teamwork, and it's all about a piece of a chunk of coal which gets together, and then a diamond is being formed. So I think this team has got together.
Very well said. Very well said indeed. And much like Hurricane Beryl, which kept them back, the team is back like a typhoon. And right now on your screens, let's play some visuals and listen to some voices celebrating today when the champs have come back home with the trophy.
बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है मुझे आज यहाँ पे आकर. मुझे तो कोलिग्स को मिलना था. मैं काफी टाइम से सोच रही थी कब मैं देखूंगी, बट आज मेरा सपना पूरा हो रहा है. थैंक यू सो मच, थैंक यू. वी आर सुपर एक्साइटेड. हम मलाड से आए हैं, फ्रेंड्स हैं.
2007 में जब वर्ल्ड कप फर्स्ट टाइम धोनी ने जीता था, आज 17 साल के बाद में 2024 में रोहित शर्मा के नेतृत्व में हम लोग ने एक कप जीते लाए. और जो सूर्या का कैच था, जो कैच सबसे बेस्ट है वर्ल्ड में, जो उन्होंने पकड़ा था, वो कैच के वजह से आज वर्ल्ड कप अपने हाथ में था. सूर्या, जब तक सूरज चांद रहेगा, सूर्या तेरा नाम रहेगा. जब तक सूरज चांद रहेगा, सूर्या तेरा नाम रहेगा. इंडिया, 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 इंडिया. भारत माता की, भारत माता की. मुंबईचा राजा रोहित शर्मा, मुंबईचा राजा रोहित शर्मा. Go on, we are here. We came from Rajasthan, and we are here to welcome Team India. And the World Cup is coming home finally. And we are here to welcome the team mentor Rahul Dravid. He created the team in last 12 years, and the team has finally paid off. And the World Cup is coming. झंडा गाड़ दिया भाई.
The cup is coming home, that's all. We are here to support Team India.
I'm carrying a message for my favorite Virat Kohli, that I'm here to support him. We are very, very proud of the Indian cricket team. They have done a fantabulous job, and we are so proud to say that we are Indian, and they have really made the Indians proud on the world level.
तूफान आ जाए पर ये जोश है नहीं रुकेगा.
रोहित शर्मा, मुंबईचा राजा रोहित शर्मा. इंडिया, 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 इंडिया.
right, and those visuals that you see on your screen, and there are many more visuals of celebrations. The Indian team, the champs, are back, and they are right now in Mumbai, where they are being felicitated, they are being celebrated, much like what entire India is doing right now. In the studio with me is my colleague Krishna Kumar, and also we've joined by Amey Kuresia, who is a former Indian cricketer. He's also there to speak about today, which is about only and only celebrations. Krishna, I want to ask you that, Rahul Dravid, I mean, I've been reading his tweets for the past 1 year. There was a time when he sounded really low. It seemed that he was not up to the mark. There was something, I mean, he's not named Wall for no reason, considering you could not extract something out of him. But people who know him and are close with him saw that there was something which was bothering him. The leap that he's taken right now, the way he strategized, do you think it is something that he worked on? Because, like I said, it was almost like he was despondent for the longest time.
And for good reason. I mean, he's been working with the team for the last 2 to 3 years, more than 3 years. And, in that sense, that loss at the one-day World Cup final must have been a very, very hard pill to swallow. And it's simply because it's a team that's played well. It has played well enough to reach the finals. And just stumbling at that final hurdle when the expectations are so big, a finals in Ahmedabad, the biggest cricket stadium in the world with the maximum capacity, and losing in front of that audience to Australia 7 months ago, must be, it was a bitter pill to swallow for all Indians. And specifically for Rahul Dravid, because he could have gotten 2 World Cups in his tenure instead of just 1. So I can understand what he must have been going through. But as you're rightly pointing out, he's not called Wall for no reason. Because he's able to stand up to all those disappointments and yet deliver. With a World Cup victory on the last day on the job. In fact, he was joking about it, saying the fact that I'm unemployed after this. I don't have a job. But now, and you could see the emotions on his face when Rohit Sharma walked up to him and gave him the World Cup, the trophy, on the field after he received it on the podium. And you could see the outpouring of emotion from Rahul Dravid's face. He was screaming like that ad in which he was called himself the Indira Nagar Ka Gunda. That outpouring of emotion which you never see in Rahul Dravid, who's always very contained.
He's very contained, very restricted.
Yeah, but it all came out to him because that's how much it meant to him. And just to remind all our viewers, Rahul Dravid, despite having a fantabulous career and being one of the greatest cricketers ever to have been produced in India and in the world, does not have a World Cup medal. And the only World Cup medal that he has is as a coach. Now, on the last day of his job of coaching the Indian cricket team.
Right, and those are the latest visuals of Marine Drive on your screens right now. People eagerly awaiting the champs. One glance, just one glance of the champs who are going to be now doing the victory lap. Since morning, actually since last night, people have been waiting to catch a glimpse of the champions, about how they have made all of us, the entire country, extremely proud for having lifted the cup. Those lining up in Marine Drive, this is iconic Marine Drive, where you can see the Arabian Sea. Of course, if you stand on the streets, you can see the Arabian Sea, and particularly at this time of the year when the monsoons have hit, look at that, people opening up their umbrellas. The sea is kind of in high tide, there are waves which are really almost more than 6 feet high. Look at that sky, that's the sky which is above the Arabian Sea. Lots of crowds there, and this is iconic, people waiting patiently. I know that traffic must be a big problem now in Mumbai, which already has it. That is the shot of how it looks. Look at that, a sea of people and the sea on the other side, waiting patiently for the champs who have come back. And let's not forget Mumbai is extremely important for the history of cricket in this country. Shivaji Park particularly, where several great cricketers have actually cut their teeth. So there you see lots of people, the tricolour in their hands, a day where they feel proud to be Indians and celebrating a sport which is like religion in India, cricket. Kuresia also. Mr. Kuresia, thank you so much for waiting so patiently. Let me ask you the same question I asked Krishna Kumar. You know, you have played cricket. You actually know more of the facts than anyone else here. So I'm asking you that what is the role of a coach? Do you think that Rahul Dravid has made a giant leap, as it were, from what he was last year to now when he helped the boys, men in blue, to get the cup?
Yeah, and well, I can tell you the game's scrutiny is as such that it can bewilder, baffle even the brightest of the people on the field. And that's what the game is all about. It's a long, picturesque romance where it may be a little romantic, full of character and full of comicness also. But the game itself at times looks like cackling at you, and that's what happened when Rahul was despondent. And that's what happens to most of the coaches, and that is the time you have to look at that practice and providence and patience are the foothills of wisdom. And that's what Rahul did. And that call from Rohit Sharma made all the difference, because at times, even if you are the best, even if you are at the top, you still need a little push to climb a little higher. As a coach, also, as a mentor, also. So, Rahul, from a coach, became a mentor in this entire journey. So, he was a very good coach. But the point is, the moment he realized that he has to take that own journey of a batsman that he had, which was with lot of aplomb, he did that to his coaching stint also. And then that's the point the entire transformation happened. So look at
Yeah.
those minutiae details where even a small detail taken care brings in a monumental transformation. That's what exactly happened in this entire tournament. And that's where I can say, coming to your point, that was Rahul despondent? Yes. But did he conquer that? Yes, to an extent he did. And he realized that the results at time as a coach are not at all on you. It all depends how your team performs as a unit. And that's where he did very well. That's where the entire support staff did very well. And the entire credit goes to all of them.
Very, very well put. And for those who've just joined this broadcast, look at those sea of people who have gathered to welcome the stars, the champions. I mean, the boys, the men in blue that people are talking about today and celebrating. They met with the Prime Minister this morning, and there are several reactions. Let's listen into what they are saying.
तब तो मैं छोटा बच्चा था मगर याद तो आ रही है वो 2011 में रोड पे निकले थे वो भी एक बार याद आ रहा है 2011 वर्ल्ड कप में खिलाड़ी थे ये बोल सकते हैं 19 नवंबर का ये मेडिसिन है क्या कहना चाहेंगे आप
ये अच्छी खुशी है हमारी इंडिया जीत गई हिंदुस्तान इंडिया
ये इंडिया का जोश है ये देखो ये इंडिया का क्राउड है
कप रोहित शर्मा का ही था और उसको मिलना चाहिए था वर्ल्ड कप भी हमारा था और ये भी कप हमारा था और आने वाली चैंपियन ट्रॉफी भी हमारी रहेंगी और वर्ल्ड चैंपियन ट्रॉफी भी हमारी रहेंगी भारत माता की जय
The enthusiasm, and ultimately it's, you know, like the players also pretty much say that we play for the country, we wear the country in our hearts, on our sleeves, and there you see we got a glimpse of a champ right now, the open bus parade in Mumbai, and in a few moments from now we shall show you the victory lap of the champions of the ICC Championship Trophy. Right now this is Marine Drive, how it looks. I mean, look at that. I think that it almost seems like the entire town has come to a standstill.
किधर देखना है यहाँ उन पे My name is Vedant. कितना एक्साइटेड है आप इंडिया टीम को देखने के यहाँ पे एक्साइटमेंट तो मैं रोक नहीं पा रहा हूँ भैया देखिए अपनी इंडियन टीम यहाँ पे आने वाली है इतने लोग गैदर हुए हैं बस एक एक झलक हम वेट कर रहे हैं कि कब आए, कब उनके साथ हम जश्न मनाएं और कब हम उनको हौसला बढ़ाएं उनका।
कब से इंतजार था, कितने समय से आप यहाँ पे रुके हैं, कब से इंडियन टीम को देखने के लिए?
जब से रोहित शर्मा का ट्वीट आया तब से मेरे में ज़्यादा ही एक्साइटमेंट रही है। मुझे लग रहा है कि जब वो लोग लहरा दो बजाएंगे तो मुझे रोना ही आ जाएगा अगर टीम को देख के।
आपके घर के सामने इतनी भीड़ है, ये भीड़ आपने कब देखी थी?
ये भीड़ कम से कम सुबह से गैदर हो रही है, मतलब सुबह 8-9 बजे से लोग आ रहे हैं, अपना जगह रोक रहे हैं और वहाँ पे रुके हुए हैं कि कब आएंगे लोग, और पुलिस भी आ रही थी। और जैसे
आप यहाँ पे रह रहे हैं, कितने साल से रह रहे हैं, या इस प्रकार की जो पब्लिक है, गैदरिंग है, इसके पहले आपने 2007 में देखी थी?
हाँ, 2007 में जब MS धोनी फर्स्ट टाइम T20 वर्ल्ड कप जीत के आए थे तो तब लोगों में इतना जोश था। सब
We now turn to Amey Kurasia, who is a former Indian cricketer who's there with us even as the entire country is celebrating. I think we've lost the connection to Amey Kurasia. Let me now turn to my colleague Krishna Kumar and ask him about certain details of this. What stood out for you? Is it Surya's catch which stood out? You see, there are some memories which are always there in your mind, and particularly people who follow cricket. I still have friends who talk about 1983 World Cup and they say that when Mohinder did this, that when Kapil Dev did this. So I'm asking you, what is the the most engaging memory, as it were, for you?
I mean, there's no doubt in anybody's mind, not just mine, that until the catch of Surya Kumar Yadav happened, I don't think anybody was confident of a victory until that happened, because you had a player like David Miller on the crease, and he is capable of hitting a couple of sixes and fours and just finishing the game in 3 balls. So until that catch happened, and the way that catch happened, so there's no doubt in my mind that will be an everlasting happy memory, and an incredibly dramatically happy memory, as it were. But to me, a couple of other things also stood out apart from that. One was Virat Kohli's blitzkrieg at the end of India's batting, because he was really quiet through the innings, because Rohit Sharma got out early, Rishabh Pant got out early, so he had to get the team the batting, keep the batting together. And towards the end, he smacked a couple of sixes and fours and really got that score up to that winnable score that we got at the end of our batting. So that blitzkrieg and that innings of Virat Kohli, especially in a World Cup where he's not performed at all, far below his own high standards, his batting performance in the final, and he of course eventually went on to become the man of the match as well. So that to me was very, very important. That late blitzkrieg from Virat Kohli is another memory. And of course, I'm going to say this again and again for a very long time, Bumrah is one of the greatest bowlers that the world has ever seen, not just India. That over, that 18th over that he bowled and the 16th over that he bowled nothing much happened, but that was the greatness of both of those overs. And it was, Bumrah giving a master class on how to use the white ball and how to play T20 cricket as a bowler at a time when everybody knows and laments about the fact that T20 cricket is just slam, bang, boom. It's all about the batsmen hitting sixes and fours. But you had Bumrah bowling classic pace and restricting batsmen, piling on the pressure to the point where South Africa eventually crumbled from an easy